Welcome to SATV News. This is Anaf Hussain with our headlines. Government is working to make deals with 10 countries to bring laundered money back, says Prime Minister. Nationwide tree plantation drive launched. Road Transport and Bridges Minister calls for individual initiative. Foreign Minister holds meeting with U.S. Energy Secretary. U.S. assures Bangladesh of support in tackling energy crisis. Now in details. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman today said the government has initiated steps to sign bilateral agreements with 10 countries to bring back a significant amount of money that was laundered from Bangladesh over the past 15 years. He shared the information while answering a query from Kumilla 9 MP Muhammad Abul Kalam during the 6th sitting of the first session of the 13th Parliament this afternoon. 3 countries have already agreed in principle to sign the agreements, while the process of inking the deals with the remaining 7 is underway. He told the Parliament during a question and answer session the countries and region initially identified as destinations where the money has been laundered include the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Switzerland, Australia, Thailand, the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Malaysia, and Hong Kong. The Prime Minister. He also said that about $234 billion were illicitly transferred out of Bangladesh between 2009 and 2023. He said that in total assets worth approximately Taka 70,446.22 crore have been attached or frozen both domestically and overseas. A nationwide large-scale tree plantation program has been launched by the Road Transport and Bridges and Highway Division, with its Minister Sheikh Rabiul Alam saying there should be individual level initiative as well to ensure environment, balance and sustainable development. Speaking as the chief guest, Rabiul said the initiative is a government priority and called for transforming tree plantations into an individual level movement rather than a formal or social activity. In the wake of rising tensions in the Middle East and the resulting global energy crisis, Bangladesh has sought assistance from the United States to secure its fuel supplies. Washington has assured Dhaka of its support in safeguarding the country's energy security. The discussions took place during a high-level meeting at the U.S. Department of Energy in Washington, D.C., where Bangladeshi Foreign Minister Dr. Khalilur Rahman met with U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Ritt. Details of the meeting were released in a statement by the Bangladesh Embassy in Washington. During the talks, the Foreign Minister highlighted the challenges the country is facing in the energy sector due to disruption in global supply chains, requesting U.S. assistance to ensure uninterrupted energy access. In response, U.S. Energy Secretary Ritt acknowledged Bangladesh's concern and reaffirmed the U.S. commitment to provide support during these difficult times. The officials also discussed long-term energy cooperations, including measures to ensure safe and stable fuel supplies for Bangladesh and the potential to increase support of U.S. energy products. Iran has allowed oil tankers bound for Bangladesh along with several other countries considered friendly or non-hostile to pass through the Strait of Hormuz despite ongoing regional tensions that have disrupted global shipping. According to a senior foreign ministry official, tankers bound for Bangladesh are allowed to cross Hormuz. Another ministry official said there has been no formal communications from Iran specifically granting access, but clarified that Bangladeshi vessels are not subject to any restriction. Earlier, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi stated that ships from several countries, including China, Russia, Pakistan, Iraq, and India, had recently passed through the Strait of Hormuz. Araghchi added that other nations, including Bangladesh, are also among those, coordinating with Tehran for transit, and that such arrangement will continue in the future, even after the war. At least 5 people were killed and 6 others injured in separate road accident on Dhaka-Chattogram highway in Kumillas Chandina, Nasir and Daudkendi areas today. According to highway police stations and locals, the accident occurred at different locations in the district during the early hours of the morning and later in the day. In one incident at Nimsar Bazar, 2 drivers, Zahirul Islam from Noakhali and Sohail Rana from Meherpur, were killed when a truck rammed into the rear of a covered van on the Dhaka-bound lane. Officer in charge of Mainamati Highway Police Station, MD Abdul Momin, said the crash occurred around 4:30 a.m. Meanwhile, a pickup driver was killed and his assistant seriously injured when the van collided head-on with a gas cylinder-laden truck on the Dhaka-Borishal highway in Madaripur. The deceased was identified as Ajay Kumar Haladar, hailed from Charduana village in Patharghata of Borgona. The accident took place around 9:30 p.m. in Samadar area of Madaripur, Sadar on Tuesday. According to police, the truck was heading to Dhaka from Borishal when it collided with the pickup coming from the opposite direction. Locals rescued the victim and rushed them to Madaripur 250-bed district hospital, where Ajay Kumar was declared dead. His assistant, critically injured, has been transferred to Dhaka Medical College Hospital for advanced treatment. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Panto.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen,
really come to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks.
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
With President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital.
Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. News from abroad. Iran's Revolutionary Guard said on Tuesday they will target US companies in the region as of April 1st in retaliation for attacks on Iran, state media reported. The 18 companies listed in the IRGC's threat included Microsoft, Google, Apple, Intel, IBM, Tesla, and Boeing. Iran earlier set ablaze a fully loaded oil tanker off Dubai. its latest attack on merchant vessels in the Gulf or in the Strait of Hormuz since the United States and Israel attacked Iran on February 28. US President Donald Trump threatened on Monday to obliterate Iran's energy plants if it does not agree to a peace deal and open the strait, a vital waterway for global oil shipments that has effectively been blocked by Iran. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel is forging new alliances with important countries in the region to counter what he described as the Iranian threat. Speaking in a video address, Netanyahu, however, did not specify which countries were involved or give further details. Meanwhile, Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara said on Tuesday his country will stay out of the US-Israeli war against Iran unless Syria is subject to arrest and has no diplomatic solution. Unless Syria is targeted by any party, Syria will remain outside any conflict, the Syrian president said in a speech at an event hosted by think tank Chatham House in London. Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara arrived in London on Tuesday for his first official visit to the UK, marking another step in the gradual restoration of diplomatic relations between the two countries. The month-long conflict in the Middle East has spread across the region, killing thousands, disrupting energy supplies, and threatening to send the global economy into a tailspin. US President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that the US could end its military campaign against Iran within 2 to 3 weeks. He made these remarks while speaking to reporters in the White House Oval Office. He added also that the exit could take place within 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3. The declaration was Trump's clearest to date that he intends to soon end a month-long war that has recorded in the Middle East, disrupted global energy markets, and changed the trajectory of the Republicans' presidency. Trump further added that Tehran does not have to make a deal with Washington to end the conflict. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Tuesday the US will have to re-examine ties with NATO after the Iran war. The war began on February 28 when the US and Israel attacked Iran. Tehran responded by launching its own attacks on Israel and Gulf states with US bases. Joint US-Israeli strikes in Iran and Israeli attacks in Lebanon have killed thousands and displaced many others. The war has also raised oil prices and shaken global markets. Rubio said there were messages being exchanged between Iran and the US, and there is the potential to have a direct meeting at some point between the two sides. Rubio said that there is nothing any government is doing or any country in the world is doing now to help Iran that is in any way impeding our mission.
These things that I've outlined, but I do think, unfortunately, we are going to have to re-examine whether or not this.
Overnight Israeli strikes in Lebanon's Beirut killed at least 5 people and wounded 21 others, said the Lebanese Health Ministry. Israel's military said on Wednesday it carried out 2 separate strikes targeting a senior Hezbollah commander and another senior member of the Iran-aligned group in the Beirut area, but did not identify them or say whether they had been killed. There was no immediate comment from Hezbollah on the strikes. The strikes are the latest in the escalating Israeli offensive in Lebanon, which has killed at least 1,200 people and displaced 1.2 million others. A US freelance journalist has been kidnapped in the Iraqi capital Baghdad, and one of the suspects is linked to an Iran-backed militia, Iraqi and US officials say. Shelley Kittleson was abducted on Tuesday evening, said AI Monitor, a news outlet for which she has contributed articles. The Iraqi Interior Ministry said security forces had chased the reporter's abductors, a pursuit that resulted in one of the kidnappers' cars overturning and the arrest of one suspect. At least 18 people were killed when an inflatable boat carrying migrants sank off Turkey's western province of Mongla on Wednesday. The Coast Guard said in a statement, adding that search and rescue efforts continue in the area. The Coast Guard said the boat with an outboard motor was detected off the coast of Mongla's Bodrum district and that it tried to flee despite repeated warnings to stop. The boat later took in water due to adverse weather and sea conditions in the area and it sank, it added. A Coast Guard helicopter and 3 boats were dispatched to the area for search and rescue operations, the Coast Guard said, adding that they had rescued 21 people so far. At least 2 people were killed when a large fire broke out a petrochemical plant in Russia's Tatarstan region on Tuesday. 20 others were hospitalized. State news agency TASS said 3 people died, 6 others were missing, and more than 70 were injured. Sibir said a gas mixture had exploded following a loss of pressure at a facility producing synthetic rubber. It said it was not clear what had caused the gas to ignite. Sibir said that the main production units at the plants, which also makes plastics, were ineffective and were continuing to operate normally. Firefighters had continued the blaze and there was no risk of it spreading, the company said, adding that specialists were checking air quality and had not detected any threats to the environment or local residents. Hundreds of Serbian students clashed with police on Tuesday night after a protest against a police search of University of Belgrade offices, which inflamed tensions between authorities and anti-government activists that had flared up regularly for more than a year. Crowds in Belgrade city center scuffled briefly with the police, who used truncheons to disperse demonstrators chanting "dogs and traitors." According to Reuters, police say the search was part of an investigation into the death of a female student last Friday, who fell from window in a nearby faculty building. University rector Vladan Dichkok later told the crowd of protesters that police entered the building without a valid legal explanation, looking for documents, and had seized computers. Before ending, we go through the headlines again. Government is working to make deals with 10 countries to bring laundered money back, says Prime Minister. Nationwide tree plantation drive launched. Road Transport and Bridges Ministers calls for individual initiative. Foreign Minister holds meeting with U.S. Energy Secretary. U.S. assures Bangladesh of support in tackling energy crisis. You're updated with our top stories so far here on SATV. And to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with us.